Hello, welcome to this lectures in ordinary differential equation. This is the sixth lecture, and we will talk about first order and higher degree ordinary differential equations. So the differential equations of first order and higher degree, when dy by dx occurs in higher degree in the differential equation, then it is more appropriate to denote dy by dx as equal to p, okay, or as by the symbol p. So now we are going to talk about higher degree in first order. So first order means that the derivative highest derivative is still dy by dx, but there are powers of dy by dx. Okay, so it can be dy by dx whole square, whole cube, and so on. So we will denote dy by dx by symbol p. Okay. So the general form of the differential equation will be some function of p y x is equal to 0, okay, where p is dy by dx, and because the degree is higher, so the differential equation is always non-linear. Now the analytical solution for first order higher degree differential equations uh, are only possible for certain cases. Okay, for rest of the cases numerical solutions may be applied, but for analytical solutions there are some standard cases for which we can solve the differential equation. So equations solvable for p, okay, equations solvable for y, and equations solvable for x. So these are the three possible cases or by which we can solve the first order and higher degree differential equations. So we'll take first the equation solvable for p. Okay, so a differential equation of first order and nth degree, say, uh, we can write it in this form. Okay, in where this small p is dy by dx. So p power n plus capital P1 p power n minus 1 plus p2 p power n minus 2 and so on plus pn equal to 0, where this capital P1 p2 so on pn, they are functions of x and y, okay, or they may be constant, but because the p is dy by dx, so first order, and because the power of the small p is greater than 1, okay, so it's a non-linear differential equation. Okay, now if this equation is solvable for p, then we can use the following steps to solve this differential equation. Okay, so first step is that we make the linear factors of the left hand side. So split the left hand side into linear factors to write this left hand side as p minus some function of xy into p minus some function of xy into p minus some function of xy, so on. So n linear factors, because the degree is n here. Okay, so we'll get exactly n linear factor equal to 0. The second step is that uh, we put each factor equal to 0, okay, because the product is 0, so each factor is equal to 0. Okay, so we equate each factor to 0. So p minus f1 xy is equal to 0, p minus f2 xy is equal to 0, second factor 0, similarly third factor 0, so on the nth factor 0. Okay, now this is nothing but p is equal to function of xy. Similarly, this is p is equal to f2 function of xy. Similarly, p is equal to f3 function of xy. And because p is dy by dx, so this p is equal to f1 xy is nothing but first order first degree differential equation. Similarly, this p is dy by dx is equal to f2 of xy, so it is first order first degree differential equation. So what we get is a system of first order first degree differential equations, so n equations of first order first degree. Okay, so we can solve each of them separately. So p equal to f1 xy first order first degree differential equation we can solve by any of the method we studied in the first 5 lectures, and this will have some solution. Okay, similarly the second, third, and nth we can solve each of them by the previous methods. So on solving each of them, we can write the solution of first, say, some function of xy with the say first order first degree, so one constant of integration equal to 0. Similarly the second first order first degree is solution, third is solution, and a third solution. So this constitutes the system of solutions for this. Okay, and in each of the solution we took the same constant c. Okay, so the constant cannot be c1 c2 cn, because then it will be n constants, but because we are dealing in first order, so we'll have to keep constant to arbitrary constant to be same in each solution. So this will constitute, these n solutions will constitute the general solution of original ordinary differential equation. Okay, so these n solutions together makes the solution of this nth degree differential equation. Also we can write the solution as product of these f1 into f2 into f3 into fn equal to 0. Okay, so this can also be written as the solution: f first function multiplied second function multiplied third, so on, multiplied nth function equal to 0. This can also be called the solution of the given differential equation. Say for example, we have to solve the differential equation which is y dy by dx whole square plus x minus y times dy by dx minus x is equal to 0. So order is 1 because dy by dx is the highest derivative, and the highest power of dy by dx is 2, so degree is 2, so first order second degree. To solve this differential equation, let us say first denote dy by dx by p, and make the coefficient of p square as 1, so divide with y this whole equation. Okay, so this differential equation can be written as y p square plus x minus y p minus x equal to 0, and then divide with y to write it as p square plus x by y minus 1 into p minus x by y equal to 0. Now it's a polynomial equation in p, so we can make some try and make linear factors on the left hand side. So it's a second degree, so we'll find two linear factors. So linear factors are p minus 1 into p plus x by y equal to 0. Now step 2 says that equate each factor to 0. Okay, so p minus 1 is 0 and p plus x by y is equal to 0. Okay, so equating each factor to 0, so first factor 0, second factor 0. Now this is p minus 1 equal to 0 is the first order first degree differential equation, and p plus x by y equal to 0 is also a first order first degree differential equation. So we can solve them separately and find their solutions. So first we'll solve this. P minus 1 equal to 0, p is dy by dx, so it is dy by dx minus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so we can use separation of variables. One goes on that side dx, so dy is equal to dx, and we can say on integration y is equal to x plus c. Okay, similarly second equation is p plus x over y equal to 0, and p is dy by dx, so we have dy by dx plus x over y is equal to 0. Again separation of variables can work here, so it is y dy plus x dx is equal to 0. So on integration we have y square by 2 minus x square by 2 plus constant. Okay, so remember you have to use the same constant, okay, whatever constant you use here, okay, on integral. And then the general solution is these two solutions simultaneously they form the solution of this, or we can also write the solution as product of these. So 1 minus x minus c multiplied with y square plus x square minus 2c equal to 0. Okay, so this whole y square plus x square minus 2c multiplied with y minus x minus c. Okay, so f1 into f2 equal to 0. So this becomes the general solution of the given differential equation. Say we take one more example here. Solve the differential equation p cube plus 2x p square minus y square p square minus 2x y square p equal to 0. Okay, where p is dy by dx. So again p is the first order derivative, and the highest power of p is 3, so it's a third degree differential equation. So steps are again very simple, that you form linear vectors of this left hand side, then equate each linear factor to 0, solve them because they are first order first degree equation, and then you can combine the solution into a single solution. So first we make the linear factors. So in this case linear factors are these: p plus 2x, p minus y square equal to 0. so equate each to 0. So p equals to 0, p plus 2x is equal to 0, p minus y square equal to 0. Okay, now p is equal to 0 is a first order differential equation in first degree. Similarly, p plus 2x equal to 0 and p minus y square equal to 0, they are first order first degree differential equations. We will solve them, each of them separately. So p is equal to 0 means dy by dx is equal to 0. So integrating this, y is equal to constant is the solution. Similarly, p plus 2x equal to 0. So p is dy by dx again. So separation of variable works. Okay, so y is equal to minus x square plus c, or y plus x square equal to c is the solution. Third is p minus y square is equal to 0. P is dy by dx. Okay, so it's a non-linear first order first degree. So we can again use separation of variables again work here. So we can separate and integrate, and we'll see that 1 by y plus x is equal to c is the solution. So general solution may be written as product of these three. Remember again, c, the same constant is used while integrating, okay, because the first order. So we'll get only one arbitrary constant in the solution. So the general solution is y minus c into y plus x square minus c into 1 by y plus x minus c is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the general solution of the differential equation. So this was case 1 where differential equation is solvable for p. The second possibility is that the differential equation is solvable for y. Okay, a differential equation again of first order and a degree. We know we can write it in this form. Okay, where this capital P1, P2, they are functions of x and y. Now if it is solvable for y, okay, that means a first order higher degree differential equation, we say if it is solvable for y if we can take y on one side of equation and p and x into other side of equation. Okay, if it is solvable for y, then this equation we can rewrite in the form y is equal to function of xp. Okay, so this y on one side of equation and the variable x and p dy by dx, okay, all terms of p or x and p on other side of equation. If we can write this, then the differential equation we say is solvable for y. Okay, so first step is that you take y on one side and x and p functions on other side. Second step is that we differentiate this equation with respect to x. So if we differentiate this with respect to x, then left hand side becomes dy by dx, which is p, and right hand side will be some function of xp and dp by dx. Okay, so left hand side is dy by dx, which is nothing but p, and right hand side will be some function of x, p and dp by dx. So this on taking derivative we get this new differential equation, and this is differential equation in two variables p and x, and it's a first order first degree differential equation in p and x. Okay, so what we get is a first order first degree in p and x. So we can solve this differential equation for a solution. So solution will be some function of p, x and constant. Okay, and then we can eliminate p from this equation and the original equation. Okay, so if we eliminate p from original equation and this solution, then that forms the general solution. Okay, and in case the elimination of p is not feasible, then the pair can be written as a solution. We calculate x as a function of pc here and y as a function of pc from here, and that will be a solution. Okay, so this pair can be treated as a solution to the differential equation. So steps are simple. If it is solvable for y, then the equation must be written in this form: y on one side and xp on other side. We differentiate it once with respect to x, so that the left hand side becomes p, right hand side becomes a function of xp dp by dx. It will be a first order first degree in p and x, so we can solve this to find a general solution, and then we can eliminate p between this equation and the original equation. That will be a solution. Okay, if p elimination is not possible, then we can write the solution as a pair: x function of p and c and y function of p and c. Okay, from these two equations itself. Say for example, say we have to solve this equation: y plus px is equal to x4 p square. So clearly it is solvable for y because we can write y on one side and take all px on the other side. Okay, So we can write this equation as y is equal to minus px plus x for p square. So y on one side and p and x on other side. So if we can write this, then the equation is solvable for y. So next step is that we differentiate this equation with respect to x, so that left hand side becomes dy by dx, which is p, and on the right hand side we apply product rule. Okay, derivative with x. So left hand side is dy by dx, right hand side here it is product, so minus p, derivative of x with x is 1, minus x dp by dx, so these two terms. Similarly 4x cube p square, this term, and x4 and derivative of p square is 2p dp by dx, so 2x4 p dp by dx. Okay, and then this dy by dx can be written as p, and then we can combine some terms to write it in this form. Okay, so it will always end up as a product of two terms on the left hand side, in which one is the differential equation in p and x, and other is a simple polynomial equation in p. Okay, so we'll use this differential equation in p and x, and we'll solve this differential equation for a solution. So we'll put 2p plus x dp by dx is equal to 0. We'll solve that to find a solution. Okay, so 2p plus x dp by dx equal to 0. This is the ordinary first order first degree differential equation in p and x. So we can use separation of variable and solve this to find a solution, and solution is p is equal to c by x square. Okay, so you can do this solution now easily, and once we have this solution, then we can eliminate p between this equation and the original equation. So we can substitute p here, and that will be the general solution of the differential equation. Okay, so if we put p is equal to c by x square here, then y is equal to x square c square minus c by x, and this will be the solution of the original differential equation. Okay, say I take another example, say solve p tan p minus y plus log cos p is equal to 0, where p is here dy by dx. Okay, so again you can see that y is occurring only here, and the rest terms are either p or x. So we can take y on other one side and xp rest of the term on the other side. So we can write this as y is equal to p tan p plus log cos of p. Okay, so that means this differential equation is solvable for y. So we differentiate this equation with respect to x to write dy by dx on here product rule. So p times secant square p dp by dx is the derivative of tan p plus tan p for second function into derivative of p, which is tan p dp by dx. Similarly, derivative here is log derivative is 1 by function, so 1 by cos p, then derivative of cos p is minus sin p and dp by dx. And because this dy by dx is p, so and here this minus tan p dp by dx cancels out with this tan p dp by dx, so the last two term cancel out. So we have p is equal to p secant square p dp by dx. Combining these two, so p outside 1 minus secant square p dp by dx equal to 0. So it's a polynomial in p, this is a differential equation in p. So we'll take this differential equation 1 minus secant square p dp by dx equal to 0, and we'll solve this to find a solution. Okay, so again you can separate the variable dx minus secant square p dp equal to 0. So integral is x minus tan p is equal to constant. Okay, and then either we have to eliminate p from here with the original equation, but that do not seems feasible, because if we put tan p here, it is not possible to put here. So if p elimination is not possible, then we say that the solution can be written as a pair. So x is equal to tan p plus c, and y is equal to this. Pair is the solution. Okay, x equal to tan p plus c, x as a function of pc and y as a function of pc. So this pair forms the solution of the differential equation. Now one more special case is Clairaut's equation, which is solvable for y. So a Clairaut differential equation is of the form y is equal to px plus function of p. So it is similar to solvable for y, where well, on one side we have y, on the other side we have some function of x and p, but it is particularly given this name because it was solved by this scientist Clairaut, who said that if the differential equation which is solvable for y is also written in this particular form, y is equal to p times x plus any function of p, then this differential equation is solvable for y, of course, but its solution is very simple. Okay, so let us see if we solve it with the method of solvable for y, what happens. Okay, so steps are that we differentiate this equation with respect to x. Okay, so left hand side is dy by dx. Here product rule, p times derivative 1 and x times derivative, so p plus x dp by dx, and derivative of this will be f dash p dp by dx. Now this is also p dy by dx, so this p and right hand side this p cancels out, and from these two terms we can combine to write it as x plus f dash p dp by dx equal to 0. This is a polynomial and this is the derivative differential equation. So method says that we do not take this polynomial part, we take the derivative term or differential equation part and we solve this to find a solution. So we will take dp by dx equal to 0, we'll solve that. Okay, so dp by dx equal to 0 and this 0. So if we solve this part, then this says that p is equal to constant is the solution. Okay, because dp equal to 0 and p is equal to constant. So if we put the solution p value back here as per rule, then the general solution is p is equal to constant here. So general solution is y is equal to cx plus fc. So what Claret proved is that if the differential equation is of the special form y is equal to px plus any function of p, then its solution is simply, if we substitute p as constant, that will be the solution. So y is equal to cx plus function of c. Okay, and this solution is a straight line. Okay, so one parameter family of straight lines with c as parameter. So this solution of the Claret's equation can be written directly from here without solving. We just substitute p as constant and that will be the solution. Okay, say for example, if you have differential equation y is equal to px minus root of 1 plus p square, where p is dy by dx. So it is a Claret's form. Its solution is very simple. P is equal to constant is a solution. Okay, so its general solution is y is equal to cx minus 1 root of 1 plus c square. Okay, so there is no need to solve the differential equation. The solution is well known directly with p is equal to constant. Okay, say if we have to solve sine of px minus y is equal to p, so this differential equation not written in Claret form, but if we solve for y, if we take sine to other side and px to other side, then we can easily rewrite it as y is equal to px minus sine inverse p. So it is a Claret form, y is equal to px plus some function of p, and because it is Claret, so its general solution is very simple, y is equal to cx minus sine inverse c. Okay, so p is substituted as a constant. Okay, say again I take example, say p is equal to log of px minus y. So again we can rewrite this as y is equal to px minus e power p. Okay, so again Claret form, so general solution is y is equal to cx minus e power c. Okay, so this is a very important uh, Claret equation which is solvable for y, but actually we can easily write the solution directly. The third possible case is the equation solvable for x. So it is very similar to solvable for y. In solvable for y, we said that we can write y on one side and p and x on the other side. Now if it is solvable for x, then we can rewrite the differential equation as x on one side and y and p on the other side of. So in solvable for y, we differentiated with x. Now because we are separating x on other side and y and p on the other side, then in this case we will differentiate it with respect to y. Okay, so if we differentiate this with respect to y, then left hand side becomes dx by dy is equal to the derivative terms here, so some function of y, p and dp by dy, and because dy by dx is p, so left hand side dx by dy becomes 1 by p. Okay, so because this term is dx by dy, it becomes 1 by p because p is dy by dx. Okay, and on this other side g, some function of y, p and dp by dy. So again if you see this is a first order first degree differential equation in two variables p and y now. Okay, so we can solve this to find this solution, some function of p y constant equal to 0, and if we eliminate p between this equation and the original equation, then that will be the general solution. And as we said, if it is not feasible to eliminate p, then the pair can be said to be the general solution. Pair is x some function of p and constant, y some function of p and constant. So method is very similar to what was for solvable for y. Let us take the example y is equal to 2px plus y square p cube. So in this case it is not solvable for y because we have y here and also y here as a quadratic. So we cannot separate y on one side and px on one side. But we have x only at one place in this whole equation. So we can separate x. Okay. So we can write this equation as x is equal to y minus y square p cube by 2p. Now because x is separated from yp, we can differentiate this whole equation with respect to y. Okay, so if we differentiate this with respect to y, left hand side is dx by dy, and on right hand side we will have to apply the rule derivative of y of numerator by denominator. So that says the denominator time derivative of numerator plus minus the numerator times derivative of denominator divided by denominator square. Okay, so 4p square, and then we can just this dx by dy will be 1 by p, and then we can just rearrange the terms to find that it can be written as product of these two factors. One is a polynomial in p, other is the differential equation in p and y. So as rule says, we have to use this differential equation equal to 0 to and find its solution. So p plus y dpy dy equal to 0. If we solve, then by separation of variable you can see that py equal to constant is the solution. So now if we eliminate p from here, so substituting p as c by y in the original differential equation, then that will be the general solution. So y square is equal to 2cx plus c cube is the general solution of the differential equation. Okay, so this was about the first order and higher degree differential equations. In the next lecture I will take one application of first order first degree differential first order ordinary differential equation, that is the orthogonal trajectories. Have a good day.